I'm not a lawyer, but this is part 2 of my recap for the state of Georgia versus Hannah Payne trial. Okay, so jumping right in. The next witness was the medical examiner, and she testified about her findings after receiving Kenneth Herring's body.
There was a small bruise here on the left upper chest region near the collarbone and a gunshot wound of the abdomen. As a part of the autopsy examination, because he had a medical history of diabetes, I conducted a test that helps to look for any evidence of elevated blood sugar. More specifically, the test can show us if his blood sugar was elevated at the time of death, but it cannot tell us if the blood sugar was low. Yes, so the comprehensive blood screen at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation tests for all the major and common drugs of abuse, and there are hundreds of different additional drugs that the panel covers. He had a negative comprehensive blood screen.
Hannah's attorney, Matthew Tucker, asked the ME about entrances and exits of the bullets and the possible positioning of Kenneth's body.
But from your expert opinion, looking at all of the angles and the way the bullet entered the body,
I have no information on the position of the decedent that would change my opinion depending on the positioning of the decedent. So without that information, I cannot render an opinion.
Now, following the medical examiner, there's more eyewitness testimony. A witness gives his version of what he remembers from that day.
She was actually standing at the guy's driver door, yelling, hitting on the window, hitting on the door, whatever she was doing. I ended up pulling out my phone to record. What I mainly remember the most is when I'm riding past, it's just a physical between the two of them, but as far as their arms.
Okay.
And just her yelling. That's pretty much the most part. As I was recording, I heard a gunshot. I ended up getting out to check on the guy after I heard the gunshot.
And here's Cross by Matt Tucker.
did you see Miss Payne's shirt that day?
I mean, I honestly wasn't paying any mind to her clothing.
Okay, but you did see it after the incident?
Honestly, so after the gunshot went off, I actually went to go check on the gentleman in the truck. I wasn't worried about Miss Payne. At first, I originally didn't see the gun. After I watched the video several times is when I kind of came to that conclusion.
Is it fair to say during the video that it appears she's picking up something right there?
Yeah, she picked up a shell casing.
Okay. And is this a continuation of the video? Does that appear to be a shell casing?
I believe the shell casing was picked up in the video. I think these photographs are one, real blurred, and then two, you wouldn't be able to see a shell casing through these photographs anyway.
So you're not familiar if she picked up a phone or a shell casing?
I'm not saying that she didn't.
Oh, I'm just saying, you're saying you don't know what she picked up?
No. I mean, to my knowledge, she picked up the shell casing from the video that I seen.
Then there's a witness who took photos of Hannah Payne when she came to the police station. The witness also got into some items that were found in Kenneth Herring's truck. So I'll start with those and then move into Hannah Payne's injuries.
I mean, there's tools, which we've already denoted, but yeah, there's tools in there. There's certainly some type of saw in the floor.
And does that appear to be easy accessible from the driver's position?
Yeah, it would be. It was, I believe you could see it if you want to bring the other picture back up from the back seat, but I believe you can see it in that photo. It would have been behind in the back seat, kind of in the center. I don't know if they can see if I point on here, but if you see the yellow and black jumper cables or whatever that is,
Over here?
yes, it would be to the bottom left of that. Right. Up and down one is approximately, I would say, 3.5 inches, and that one horizontally would be approximately almost 3 inches. It's kind of pink, but it looks almost like it's swollen a little bit. There's a small little mark right above her upper lip on her right side. That's Miss Payne's face, but there was some pinkness right there. The shirt was torn.
The state brought up this interesting point on redirect.
Behind the driver's seat, which is kind of smushed back against the back seat. Would you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
There's bag,
Yes, ma'am.
some cables,
Yes, ma'am.
and the butt of this knife is shoved down in a bag, or in that area, correct?
Behind the seat. Yes, ma'am.
The defendant's hand
Yes, ma'am.
and her fingers.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware if that's the state of her fingernails when the defendant first arrived at the Clayton County Police Department?
No, ma'am, it is not.
What was the state of the defendant's fingernails when she first arrived at the Clayton County Police Department?
She had on long fingernails, ma'am.
Fake nails?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that was the first few days of this trial. The state has now rested their case, and Hannah's attorney is now presenting their case. Hannah is actually one of the first witnesses on their side, so we're going to hear from her own mouth what she says happened. I'll be back with a recap for that.